Okay. So we stand here in front of a compost tea machine. I developed it over the years. The idea started about 15 years ago when I started my studying as environmental engineer. I picked up the idea of producing the own kind of plant stimulant called compost tea on YouTube. It was a classical do-it-yourself idea with a little plastic bucket and some pumps and everything. And during my studies, I was able to conduct many trials and got the support of the professors about standardizing the whole process to have a stable product which you can give out to the farmers, and it's going to be able to produce a quality compost tea. So the principle of a compost tea is you add water, around 3% of compost, and the microbial food to the water and aerate it with a pump for at least 24 hours. And during this time, we extract the microbiology out of the compost and also propagate the microbiology. So when the microbiology propagates, you have a lot of microbes. They also poop in some ways. And those poop, these secondary metabolites, different vitamins, enzymes, and amino acids, are very healthy for the plant. The problem nowadays in agriculture is the soils have a lack of organic matter, and with it, we don't have the microbial biomass anymore producing those secondary metabolites in the soil that the plant can feed healthy on it. So what we do, we take this externally, produce those microbes and secondary metabolites, and spray it after to the plant to have a biostimulant effect. And what we see is that the plants produce more roots. We have a better connection of the plant roots to the soil to get the interaction again. That the plant works together with the soil, with the whole microbes which are there, and with it we have resistant plants against pests and also more resilient against climate conditions when it's dry or too wet. And the plants can take up more trace elements and the nutrients better, which not all the time gives you a higher yield, but better quality, better shelf life of the vegetables, and also leaves more roots behind, and roots exudates in form of carbohydrates, and with it, it helps to build up the humus content over the years. So the machine consists here out of a stainless steel tank, and of course this is quite premium. Many ideas on YouTube are just maybe in a simple IBC plastic tank. But what you saw, it's a microbial process. We want to start with a clean tank to not have suddenly microbiology we don't want to have in the system. And stainless steel out of the food industry is just the best you can get. So we have those tanks with 1,000 liter. And on this side is an air blower blowing a lot of air inside. It goes up this pipe over the water level that the pump never gets water inside, and we blow it in from the bottom. So the whole water in the tank is just moved by the blow of air and not through the pump, which is very good for the microbiology, that it doesn't get hit or disturbed. So the water goes in here. We have a valve we can open here. The water gets pressed up. So I start now the noise and the water flow. And it's going to create a vortex in the tank. With the vortex, we have everywhere the same mixture to have the same amount of air. There is nowhere compost laying on it. Gives the best results. Now, when everything is running, we have here 1,000 liter of water. I add 3% of compost, so 30 liters of compost. It's a very mature compost, more than a year old, which has a very fine, nice structure. and a lot of different humic acid compounds and fungi, protozoas, nematodes, and so on. So I take this bag and just drop it directly into the water. And also to propagate the microorganisms during these 24 hours, we have a fine grounded plant powder. It consists of alfalfa meal, like the lucerne, some algae powder, some rock dust, some humic acids, and some different herbs, which give a good balanced growth of the microorganisms. And we add 0.3% also to the system. To have a bit more controlled environment, right now the water was just about 15 degrees and the outside lies also by 12 degrees. This system has a heating. It's not fully necessary to have a heating for compost tea. You also just can extend the brewing time. But to be finished within 24 hours, I want to have it on 20 degrees. So I turn on the heating. We can close the lid. And this is it for the next 24 hours after it's ready to be sprayed onto the crops.